individuals primarily seek DNA testing to confirm biological relationships for personal reasons rather than the legal or immigration purposes. This is according to the report, or the report I've read. Recall that Nedu Wazobia, the well-known radio host and, comedian, aka podcast host right now, some time ago was embroiled in this growing issue that is affecting many lives right now. And then that drama happened with Nedu. And the wife came out innocently and said, I get Pekin. I tell her, I born now.
Sounding innocent.
I get Pekin. I tell her and say, okay, because I have a child in your house, I get Bele. I never told you it was your child. Did I tell you it was your child? You just assumed that the child I have in marriage with you is your child. All right, ladies, let me open the table.
First problem. All of this your labari where you don't talk. One problem inside this problem. This one problem is, how can you say 89% happened in Lagos? Please, so where the DNA testing center did?
No. The 89. I think we got it right. The 89% is actually 89% of the tests conducted.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, there's more awareness of DNA testing in Lagos State.
What I'm saying is, where is the center?
Oh, there's a center. There's even a center that is even owned by, I think co-owned or somehow sponsored by Lagos State government.
That's the point.
Now.
It is in Lagos.
How many of the other people from Kano State will come to
Lagos?
Thank you.
Oh, is that why I'm going to? I did not know.
COVID-19 is the statistic teller. People had COVID-19 in other states in the country. They thought they would get better care in Lagos. They all came down to Lagos.
Yes,
in fact,
absolutely.
their loved ones bring them to Lagos. Isn't that what
so that's why Lagos accounts for the highest.
So please, don't be painting Lagos. But let's clarify.
Lagos like to do that thing.
Don't blame Lagos women. Don't paint Lagos women in a bad light. That's
so you guys are not that nice.
No. But the thing is that let's look at it the other way. On the flip side, Lagos State is a metropolitan city.
You are the woke people.
It is, yes, it is. It is a Lagos State that people are so much enlightened, and a lot of people are so much intelligent that they can know how to run their way, go and you have a lot of people, because of this too much sense, they look at some things and say, okay, let me look, they can see into the future and say, if I do this and do this and do this and do that, the future will be well.
So let it not look like we're talking without involving the gentleman. So Mr. Darlington, with the way Nigeria, we carry second. This second for the people will be say Sabi carry Peking, give another man speaking to another man. And then when the second most praying nation in the world, and our women can pray, that the prayer was I don't like what you understand. I don't like what. So Mr. Darlington, Barrister Darlington, are you in any way surprised that women are embroiled in paternity fraud?
Thank you. I don't think so. You know why?
Why?
If you look at the timing, this paternity thing started recently. It is not a Nigerian thing.
Hey.
It is not. It started with the poverty level. It started when things started going south for Nigeria. And women, they need to survive, they need to take care of their family, and in the process, a lot of things go in between. At times, the men are even aware, but they don't bother as long as something is happening at home. So I think that is where the problem started. Don't blame the women per se. They are taking advantage of the situation of things to help their family. And in the process, they bring things that the husband is not aware of. So how will you now blame them? If things were normal, would they go out to sleep with any man? You see now. So where there is poverty, things like this happen. It's very common.
Madam Inka Kelly, let me come to you now. So, people are saying, some women have been of the opinion, this is not Saturday, that if our forefathers had gone to run testimonies, they would have found out that even themselves, they happen there past now. Do you agree that this is not something that just, it's happening, that just started now, like Mr. Darlington said?
No.
It's been going on way back.
Well, it could have been way back, because there's nothing new under the sun. But I want opinion that it wasn't this rampant, because those days our mothers, they betrothed them at a very young age. You realize that a lot of them married as a virgin. They might not be happy in their marriage. They might not, but they have been trained. They have been wired in such a way that the man is their almighty. The man is everything. So even if we saw those things like this, then it wouldn't be this rampant. And you know, it would have been an unconscious act, not the way it is today, that it's deliberate. You can imagine those ex-wife saying, why would he assume that because I'm pregnant in his house? Did I tell him, you know, which means from the word go, she knew that she was pregnant. So even if it happened then, it wouldn't have been deliberate. Probably I could be dating someone, probably. So
are you saying that we never had promiscuous women in our, you know?
I never said so, but the percentage is what I am arguing now. The ratio. You know, when I started talking, I said there's nothing new under the sun. You know, we had promiscuous women. We had women that, you know, will do some other things to get their way. But the thing is that it wasn't this rampant. Those days, we had women that feared, you know, their husbands. And when I say fear, they reverenced their husband. And that's the way they were trained. That's the way they were wired. That's what they were wired to do. That's the way they were psyched. That this is how you should live. This is how you should live as a married woman. So they dare not. Even if the man is killing them, they die there.
Okay. You're saying I have a question. Okay. Do you have a question?
I think one of the reasons why this thing is equally rampant these days is because of the lifestyle of most young men.
Okay. Being.
Yes, they are no longer that agile in the other room.
Hey, wait.
Go and check.
Are you accusing your fellow men of not having action?
It's not we that said it, though.
Don't worry yourself. Your own is coming. When I listen to most these herbal medicine dealers and all that, if you bring 20 of them, about 18 of them are talking of erectile dysfunction.
Yes.
Everything that has to do with man. I've been wondering, all of them, whenever they are doing advice, whenever they are going for their own, it is all about how men can get up, you know. So I now realize that if this thing is not this rampant, why would they be talking about it everywhere?
And they're selling.
They are selling. So it shows that there is something happening at home that most women don't want to talk and discuss. So, and instead of embarrassing their husband, they now find a way to, you know, at least make sure that
find a way around it.
Yeah, exactly. So that is where I think the major problem is coming.
Yes. And I totally agree with that.
I even know of somebody who was even helping his son, a prominent Nigerian who was helping his son because the son couldn't do anything.
And helping his son service his wife.
Exactly, and they
was the person a former president in any way?
Oh my God!
I'm just asking a question.
Precious.
What is your mind?
Precious.
Your mind is
precious.
Your mind is just.
No, let me come to her rescue. Anyway, for all I know, she only mentioned adult. She didn't put force. If you now call adult force, you have to put in there. So. The thing is that it happened and that marriage got crashed because of that incident. So majorly, men are not finding it difficult. And after all this stress, it is affecting their bedroom matters. The stress is so much on young men of these days that when they come home, they are stressed out.
So are you saying it is, you know, a logical kind of stress, or probably a wrong way of life? Because if you ask me, you see a lot of young guys now, their way of life is nothing to write home about. The things they consume, the things they do.
Exactly.
It's nothing. So I think it's something,
lifestyle,
you know, brought upon them by themselves.
Their lifestyle.
Exactly.
It's not by themselves, because of the society. The society has
gone south. The society is making them want to last for 5 hours.
No, the society has gone south. Men are no longer men.
How?
Hey! Now,
how does this? How is the society demand for a man to want to do 2 hours instead of staying for 1 hour?
In the olden day you are talking about, if you have read Things Fall Apart, the Chinua Achebe, he said when a newly married young man he gets a wife, he is giving palm wine. That the drag of that palm wine. That's what he takes in the morning for virility. How many of your young men will take palm here in Lagos? How many of them? They prefer to go and take a cognac and champagne.
Before we get back to what Mr. Darlington is saying, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was going to ask, in the Bible days,
Okay.
if you have a child who dies, the wife sleeps with the younger brother, and to have a child in the name of the dead.
It is a tradition in some part of the world.
And I think it's still a tradition even in our part of the world. So when we talk about doing paternity, I just laugh now. When it belongs to the family, as in the child,
family line.
the child belongs to the family. A woman that is passed from one generation to another generation. Okay, the husband died, or the father, maybe she's the last wife of their father, and then she's bequeathed to the first son, and sometimes the first son dies. And then she's sent to the second son.
That is, they pass her on.
They pass her on because she's a property of the family. That's the way it is. And we're talking about what used to happen.
It's happening now.
And then at that point in time, you find out that the child, the woman in question, has children for each of them.
But let's even leave that one. That one is legal. This one is not cheating.
What is legal?
It's legal now.
It's tradition.
It's tradition and
it's allowed. And even in that case, the original man is no more.
Exactly.
A woman is, whether inside the family or outside the family, she's allowed to do whatever.
There's an understanding. So what we're talking about is a situation where a woman that is married to a man, one, not the one that's married to like 5 men or have 5 side guys, apart from the man. A woman that is married, a woman that is married to one man, you understand? And the man thinks that, oh, this woman is my all, and I'm the owner of you and yours. And then the man gets happy that all the children you have are supposed to be mine. And then he goes do DNA test, maybe because of immigration, right? And then boom, 3 out of those children aren't his. 4 out of those children aren't his. And then the woman now starts crying. It was the devil. It was,
Are you sure the man never suspected?
Let me tell you. Paternity fraud comes in when there is a DNA test.
Yes.
And it comes out negative. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, please.
You went to go and check whether you are the father of these children. Mind you, every child in a home is the seed of the man. It is the seed of that man.
Whether
quote and unquote.
No, it's
whether the child has a man's DNA or not.
No. As long as you're married to
yes,
that woman.
that's why the man's DNA will always play a prominent role in determining who owns the child. That is the law. So when a woman says it is our child, you can say it because you are in that home. But when the chips are done, when you come to law, it is the man that owns the child, because it is the DNA of the man that is now being checked, not the woman, not the woman's DNA. You can see what is going on. So when you are talking of paternity fraud, it is when the matter have gone to court and there is a contestation.
Mr. Darlington,
how about if the man went behind the woman's back and did a DNA on his children just to confirm that, okay, this kid...
Because that's what the report says. The report says that some men just go to do it for rest of mind, to confirm that...
but the question is, was the man suffering from erectile dysfunction, or was the man...
How do I know my sister?
Hold on! Was the man suspicious? Was the man suspicious at any time
in his
life of his inability to be fertile?
He may have been suspicious, you understand? You can read with everything
of his own fertility, I mean.
You're reading stories of paternity fraud every day. Some men will be like, I need to make sure my children are mine. You understand? They want to be sure.
Does he doubt his own fertility?
They need to know why they are spending money. They need to know why they are breaking their back on
There are 2 things that bring suspicion. One, when the children are not looking like either the woman or the man. When they are not, you look at this child and say, no, this is not my blood.
But the child can look like you and not be your child. You know that, Mr. Dan.
No, it's not possible, because it is the blood that is talking here. There's no way your children cannot resemble either the mother or the father.
No.
That is where the suspicion. If you say you have seen, have you gone for DNA to check?
Who adopted the child?
Oh,
wow. that child just looked exactly like the man.
I've seen families.
So, Mr.
And then it look like whoever they see.
So one house, please. Let's take this conversation straight to where it belongs. Women giving wrong children to another man. That's exactly what this conversation is all about. So that we don't deviate, right? So is it fair that a woman with her open eyes and say, I was pregnant. Did I think that the child is your own? But then you're married to me in my house. Is it a fair thing for a woman to do to a man? That's the question. Because
but really it's not fair.
Some responses here. Someone is saying that, I think it is Yinka Mayake, yeah, she tried to comment. She said, it was worse before now, but they did it in hiding. Meaning that in our forefathers' time, that it was actually worse. And then she now said, let me finish reading. And she now says, now they aren't scared to show off as they feel what is good for the goose is also good for the gander. Then furthermore, she says, the pressure on women to have a male child make them look out. So those who go through pressure when the cause is not having kids and refusing to go to hospital. So you know that is a thing. That sometimes, in fact, fertility doctors will tell you that some major cases of infertility in the homes actually come from the man.
Yeah.
But they don't know. And then the society generally puts pressure on the woman.
Now, tell me.
And so I've seen women who said that,
to save my home.
To save my home. They go to another man.
To save my marriage.
Some women, after trying for a long time, you understand, in marriage, they'll be like, we need children. I need to have a lineage there. They will go behind their husband.
But do you know some of them discuss with their husbands as well?
Some of them do that to keep the family.
But do you know some of them discuss with their husbands as well?
It is an agreement, yeah.
Some of them even see, I've seen a situation where there was an agreement between the husband and the wife. But
there will be an issue there.
See, I've seen a situation where there was an agreement between the man and the wife.
So
and the children are not theirs, are not his. But he could not tell his family members that those children are not.
So let's even forget about
it. So when the family raised the issue that these children don't look like us, it threw the woman to the walls.
Right.
Saying,
so he didn't do enough to protect the woman.
He didn't do anything, not enough. Anything to protect. The woman kept saying it was our agreement.
So let's forget about that one is an agreement. We're looking at the conversation. We're looking at the conversation, not whether or not there's an agreement. A fraud cannot be a fraud if there's an agreement.
Definitely.
We're looking at the fraud, meaning that the woman open eye, carry another person picking, give another. I was on a night show. Yes, I was on a night show, Mr. Darlington. I was on a night show in one of my radio shows. A man called in that day crying. I kid you not. I heard the man crying. What was his problem? That
you discovered
he's an offshore worker, and that he got back home. Then we're talking about having access to your partner's phone, and then I think he somehow just randomly went through his partner's phone and got to discover that 3 out of his 4 children were not his. The woman was communicating with the man who impregnated her for that child, for those children. The man was weeping like he felt helpless. He felt that I go offshore, I risk my life for this same family, and then you do this to me. I mean, a friend of mine went to to Canada the other time with 5 children, and guess what? They ran a test. So for you to migrate with your kids, you do DNA tests in Nigeria. All the tests proved that the children were his own. By the time they got to immigration in Canada to seek asylum, they found out that 4 out of the 5 children were not his. 4. That's a fraud. That's what we're looking at. So what would give a woman the mind, the balls, the temerity, the mindset to do that kind of thing to a man?
You know that
so many things can come in. I've told you, when the man's romantic life is not at par with that of the woman. So women are nymphos, so they are never
satisfied. They say people are nymphos.
No. I really do not agree.
They don't get satisfied at home, and the man doesn't have the energy.
To the point of pregnancy, Mr. Darlington.
It's a man's duty to satisfy his wife.
Now, if this man have gone to work that day, our offshore friend, he comes back tired and
after 2 weeks. So is that a good enough reason?
But the woman wouldn't want to bother since she's getting some side show somewhere. That is the issue.
So even if she's getting some, we can make love without making babies.
For some women,
there is an accidental discharge.
Some women look at it from the angle of you guys cheat. You understand? So can we also equally bring another man's child to you? It's not
no, but that's unfair. No, it's not unfair. What is unfair? This man will cheat and bring another child now, will he not?
But he won't bring the child to you.
He will bring baby mama. He will bring baby mama.
But he won't bring the child to you.
That I'm praying on you.
But he won't bring the child to you.
Where the man brings his premarital affair, a child from his premarital affair, extramarital affair, in my extramarital affairs, to his family home. And the wife is conditioned to accept it as an African woman, as a traditional African woman.
So is that my question now is that a good enough reason for a woman
to do the same thing?
See, let us on this thing. I will not agree. But that's in the sense that we are a people of our own tradition and culture.
Okay. And what's that tradition?
We have our own way of life. We should not go and be borrowing other people's culture and come and be justifying what is not to be justified here.
I know of the Igbo culture. In the Igbo culture, in those days, in our forefathers' time, a man doesn't question where a child comes from, as long as that woman is married to that man, as long as he paid the dowry of that woman.
All the children are his.
All the children that come from that woman is yours.
If you like, carry the devil's DNA.
My people go say
because that's exactly what it is.
Let me interpret. No matter what, my people will say it will go off, your physical sight, but it can never go off your heart.
Mind. But let's go back to this issue. I would like to go back to this issue of the woman saying because the man brought his own child from outside into the home, and that is enough justifiable reason. But now let's look at it. The man has a child outside. There is no doubt about it. The child is his. Hold on.
It brings you that a woman in the house goes through because of those women outside, and what those men do.
So is that the reason why you will now go outside and now bring another person's child? Now, not the man's child. Why don't step out?
Step out to the child.
Go now.
Why will I step out in a house that suffered for you?
Is the man not sweating?
The home we built together.
Is the man not sweating?
My dear sister, what is good for the goose is good for the gander.
So you will bring
a man can plug and insert somewhere and make children. I can bring the child and make children. Okay. So children are gifts from God.
Let me now tell you. If you decide to do that, then you should be ready to bear whatever consequence.
What is the consequence
that comes out of it? Excuse me, this man. Look. If I am married and a man brings a child from outside to me, I have a right to accept or decline. I can either stay or leave. Now, if excuse me, let me land. No, let me land.
Let me accept or decline. You do not have the right to decline.
But let me give you one.
Let me tell you, not in this time and age.
It is better for you.
Not in this time and age.
Accept.
If I am not let me even tell you.
Accept for your own good. For the good of your children. Would you rather have a child living under the roof of another woman who is going to plant seeds of wickedness and vindictive behavior in that child to begin to harm your children? Or would you rather bring that child into your home to raise that child lovingly as one of yours? Let me tell you what they do. Let me tell you what they do in a proper northern setting. See, in the proper northern setting, when you have a polygamous family and you have children, we have 4 wives. When I give birth to my child, the child is given to you to take care of, and then your child is given to you to take care of.
And your child is the news now. Have you not seen how women are not poisoning their stepchildren?
That is what I'm saying.
Have you not seen that? That happens in the north. Even in the same north, people are not poisoning their stepchildren. People are not stabbing.
Do you now know?
People are not killing their stepchildren.
Do you now know that? So if you now kill your stepchild, don't forget that the mother of the person who you just killed is also the one who is caring for your own child. Your children are not under your roof. They are not even in your house. You have no rights. In fact, in some settings, they make it so good that you cook as the woman. You are the one cooking for all the children in the house today.
At the end they cannot be happy.
Do you know why?
They are not happy.
Hold on. Do you know why? because we are products of our society, of our tradition and our culture.
Thank you.
Accept what you were brought up with. Nika Kenny was saying the other time that a woman, that was what the question I wanted to ask her. She was talking about a woman in those days revered their husbands, they revered their fathers, they revered their culture, their family, where they come from. They are so scared of tarnishing their family's image that they would rather just align with whatever their family wants them to do. You only find 5% of the 100 that would do otherwise. And that is the kind of society that I grew up in. That's the kind of society I know Nika Kenny grew up in. And all of us grew up in. The women of this generation, however, and some of our generation, have however decided to borrow the culture of other people. So what we now do is, I would rather take away my dignity because I want to prove that the man is wrong. So I will step out, I'll bring other children into the house, I will show him that if you can have children outside, I can have... See, your children will stone you tomorrow. That's the truth.
Which children will stone us?
Your own children.
How many
they will stone you tomorrow.
How many people are children stoned?
Oh,
who are
women?
What happened to David in the Bible with Bathsheba? What happened to David in the Bible with Solomon?
David, no, hold on.
So first child died. Bathsheba child died. What happened again?
Bathsheba did not. Bathsheba did not bring. No, let me bring that out. Let me tell you. Let me. That is a different area. No, that's about God. Hold on. We're not talking about God. Hold on. It's not even the same situation because Bathsheba did not bring in Uriah's son. Bathsheba gave birth to David's child. It's just that God was married to Uriah. Yes, and she never took David's child to Uriah at any point in time. She never did that. And it was even as at that point, David realized. Let's paint a physical.
Do you even understand? My point is that it made it look like a man's infidelity can be excused.
No.
And if a man's infidelity or unfaithfulness can be excused, then anything can happen.
God didn't make that.
Now let me.
And dishonesty can be excused. Anything can be excused.
Let us not miss. Let us not miss. Let us not miss.
It was very clear that you can only divorce because of infidelity. You can only divorce your wife because of infidelity. I didn't see where it was said that the woman should leave the man because of infidelity.
Yes. Hey, so women are not meant to bear infidelity.
Look at check in the Bible.
See, so women are supposed to suffer and bear infidelity.
No, that is
let me give you my own point.
From the beginning, God knows how He wired the man. He knows why He wired the man the way He wired him.
Wired him how? I want to know. Who did the electrification?
To hunt.
Who did the electrification? Who
wired the electrification?
Ask God why He allows
to want to take and taste.
Why He allows even some religion, it is official that they should marry 4 wives.
It is not official in any religion.
It is official. It's a religion.
It is not permissible.
It is permissible. All the prophets were polygamous. All the prophets were polygamous, and I didn't see where God punished them for being polygamous. I didn't see where God punished them.
And that is why all the prophets are polygamous. And I cannot see where God will punish me.
Hold on. Okay, can I make a point here?
If all the prophets are polygamous and God never punished them, women of these days now are saying that what men can do it, and God will punish us.
Can I make a point? Now let me make a point.
Even the prostitute that they wanted to stone, is it not Jesus that told them?
Let me make a point here. Let me make a point here. Anything you do that you are not proud of, then it's wrong. Now let me let me land. They are not proud of it because in most cases,
nothing wrong.
Hold on. If I have a child from another man and I'm married to another man. Hold on. If I have a child for another man, I'm inside. Okay, I'm married to Mr. A. I have a child for Mr. B. I should be bold enough to come tell Mr. A at home, the child is not yours. Excuse me, this baby I'm carrying, let me land. This baby I'm carrying is not yours. It belongs to Mr. B. Yes. So if I cannot do that, that means it is wrong. What you cannot come out boldly to be proud of is wrong.
Can I ask a question?
No,
Mr. Darlington, sorry. A question to Yinka. Can you beat your chest in front of national television to say that this is every single thing you have done in secret and open that you can beat your chest to tell people whom you've done it to? Say it.
Don't do the there is. No, Yes.
There are things
that we have done in the open or secret that we cannot tell.
But you see, the ones that we have,
you know this situation when I bring my child, when I bring a child of Mr. A to Mr. B, hold on, to Mr. B, and I make I bring Mr. A's child to Mr. B, and I tell baby A that Mr. A is your father, whereas Mr. B is your father. Now that child, I am living a lie with that child and the two men. For crying out loud, I might not even be bold enough to tell either of them that this child is not yours or it's yours.
Let me
say
something.
I can affect this child's future psychologically, emotionally, in every way. When this child discovers that in 25 years later, the child now discovers
you are finished talking, let me talk.
That 25 years later, this child discovers that, oh, this man that I have called my father, lo and behold, is not my father. Imagine the emotional attachment. God help you as a woman, that child is so much attached. He and his father, they are 5 and 6. And you know, the child can even not survive it, might not for life survive it. Even the man himself. I watched, there's a program I watched, and the child was, I think it was 25 or so, and it was made, and something like, I think somehow the father discovered that, it's not his child, blah and blah and blah. Long story short, all the emotions and everything. But at the end of the day, it was the woman that lost out, because the child and the father decided in themselves that I am not going to any other father. And the father says, if you are ready to still come on as my son, and very unfortunate for that man, that is the only child he had.
Let me say something, please. Let me say something.
He can kill. Some people can commit suicide.
Stop being emotional, Yinka.
He can kill. Really?
You're being very emotional.
Really? Are you kidding me?
You are just being very emotional.
Are you saying that emotions should not be involved?
Please, Tommy, give me a break.
No, but emotions are involved in this already. From what God, emotions are already involved in it.
Let me talk. You're being emotional.
The foundation is emotional.
You have
in a pepper my body.
Why would they pepper you like that?
In a pepper me.
Life not that deep. Last, and people did help. Now I think that we are being very.
Which kind of nonsense?
Calm down now. Calm down. Breathe in. Out. Okay, good. Let's go forward. Let's go forward. So I think honestly we're being very, very, and again very unfair, even though one very would have been enough, but I had to add enough berries so you understand the intensity of very I'm talking about. I think we're being very unfair to women who had to go through a lot of emotional trauma, a lot of pain and agony, to have to manage to sleep with other men, to help their husbands who cannot make children to make children.
But that's a different. Did you discuss?
Do you understand?
Did you
because
did you discuss with the husband?
Case with most of these women.
Did you have
a discuss with a man that want to help?
When I can decide to accept your help or not. I have a choice to accept your help, and I have a choice.
We are one, so I may decide that your problem is the problem. Solve your problem.
When you want to solve my problem, please, if you need to solve my problem, involve me in the solution.
What will I
do?
When I know that my life and my marriage is at stake.
Hold on. You have a choice in all of this matter.
Before you can take that kind of step, the man must be involved, because ab initio the man knows that he is weak.
The man may not know, Mr. Dennis. A lot of men refuse to go for sex. They don't know. You men don't do that.
No, because
did he marry a virgin? Did he marry as a virgin?
When you are finding,
has he ever impregnated anybody before?
When you are finding it difficult to have babies after maybe 1 year of marriage, the next thing is for you to go for test. It may be fertility test, both of you. And a good fertility doctor will tell you the truth. And if the truth is that you can't, you have low sperm count and
or whatever it is,
then you have to go home and then discuss with your husband.
Solutions.
And then most time, listen very well. Most time, the man even chooses the person. Maybe a very close friend. The man, they choose.
And then if you know your husband enough and you know that he would never agree, and you know that women have clock. They have age clock.
So let me ask
you know that your time is going. I am 40 something going to 50.
Let me ask you.
If I don't take a drastic decision, I will never have a child of my own. That same man at 60 can bet another child if he works on himself. But I do not have that time anymore. I shouldn't look for solutions.
Couldn't you have told him, take a walk.
Your pattern shot.
Take a walk.
Take a sit down.
Take a walk. If you feel that you cannot go again, you can't take it, you feel that the man is the issue, and both of you cannot come to a round table, please, for your own sake, for the sake of the unborn child, for the sake of the man, for the sake of your family, for the sake of his family, for the sake of the future generation to come, take a walk.
Stay in that home.
Take a walk. Why?
Take a sit down.
Take a walk.
Take a sit down in that home. Why? It is my home. Marriage is for better, for worse.
Really?
And then a child is a child, like we said before.
Marriage is not by force.
Tell me. What did she not narrate? She just narrated a situation where a man eventually loved that child so much, and they decided to stay together. What is wrong with you loving the child that came out of your woman? Your
Hold on.
A child that came out of your wife's stomach. You're even
your wife told you about.
Fool if you don't love the child that came out of your wife. You say you love your wife. You will not love the child that came out of her. You have been deceived. Your party shot with Barrister Darlington. Your party shot.
Please allow to say something.
Let's look at Kirk Franklin, gospel artist. He has the same issue. So I think we're attaching so much emotions on this thing.
God bless you.
Kirk Franklin's mom was lying and has been lying to him all his life about his paternity. I'm telling you. So the man whom he thought was his father,
he just discovered wasn't his father.
You understand? Yes. And then when he found out, the mother was like, it's not a big deal. He's still your dad. And the man accepted him till today. They are fine.
Yinka,
so there should be an understanding.
So let me know.
It's selfish for the man not to accept that child.
Say it to Yinka again.
At what time?
As a man, you are the head. You have to have your emotions in control sometimes and act like a man.
YK, hello.
Will you accept the child? No. So let me just ask. Promise this question before we round off. Promise. Your husband woke up tomorrow and tells you, Promise, I'm very sorry. I have a twin by one of the girls that I mistakenly, that's the way they put it, slept with. And I really do not want her to raise the children. As a matter of fact, she doesn't want to raise the children. She has the children already. I would like us to adopt the children and raise them. Would you accept?
Of course. Why not?
No, I'm asking.
Women have been conditioned all the time to accept anything.
I'm asking you personally.
Of course
would
I
you
will.
accept?
As a woman and a woman of the house and a mother of the house.
So let me ask you another question.
For the betterment of my family
and your home, right?
My family is in one piece.
So what was the critical element? What was the critical element in that entire conversation? Did the man come to you, or did you happen to hear about it, or did the man dump them on you?
Doesn't matter.
No. Answer the question. Hold on.
Look for a way to
what I'm saying is, did the man tell you, or the man dumped them on you?
It doesn't matter how it happened.
Really? I think the problem. No. What I'm saying.
Look for a way to remedy the mistake. That is what is important.
So let me now make this my parting shot.
Okay.
The real problem we have is our inability to accept that we are wrong when we are and discuss it, especially when it has to do with other people. See, mistakes that you made that has to do with you, you can keep it for life and pretend as if nobody would know. In fact, sometimes people know and people just pretend as if they don't because you're also hiding it. So they join you in hiding it. But a child can never be hidden. And no matter how much you cover the truth, like Franklin is almost 60, that truth just came out. So the best thing is be bold enough. See, if you are bold enough to go sleep with another person, be bold enough. If you had a child by that person, no matter how long it takes you, before that child becomes an adult, be bold enough to tell the man that you gave that child to, that this child is not yours. And be bold enough to have that conversation in the presence of the child as well. So the child and the father can at least have that understanding. If it is found out, then you become the bad person in the picture. Conversation is just communicate your mistake, and it's all. If you can't say it, don't do it. Don't hide it. I'm not saying you have done it. Be bold enough to say it, even if it takes you a while.
It's okay.
Just say it.
See, you want to cry now. You have to cry. You're so emotional. Calm down. Life is not like that. Calm down.
It's too hard.
Go ahead.
If you consider,
honestly, for me as a parting shot, what I will say is that marriage is not for babies. Marriage and it is not a do or die, and marriage is a parcel that you don't open before you get in there. Look here, if you get into your marriage and you discover that this parcel is not what I ordered for, is different from what I was supplied with, please take a walk. Don't begin to do things that will deter or cause commotion, confusion to a whole generation in future. If you get into marriage is not do or die. If you get inside there, and you feel that this thing, I can't take it, or this is becoming too much, and you all sincerely from your church mind, deep down in your mind, what you think you want to do, please walk out.
Please
of
help us interpret.
2 years must not hear about it.
And Mr. Darlington, you wanted to say something?
Yes, what I'm saying in essence...
Let me let all the gang supporting you to just, all of you to just say one thing. Right.
You see, this paternity fraud, there are many cases in court over this matter. Many cases.
Mr. Darlington is cutting short, so you help us hurry.
Good. What I'm saying in essence is that if you know your home, because you know yourself better than any other person, if you know you cannot handle it, don't start what you cannot finish. Most times, most ladies don't even know that the child they are carrying is not from their husband. Maybe they have gone outside to do something, then come home. The same night, the husband will not sleep with them. In that case, you may not even know who is actually...
the father.
Yes, you may not know. So all these cases, at times, it brings problem in the home. So if the child has come, why not move on with that child? So that
the man should move on with the child.
Yes,
God bless you. There'll be peace.
There'll be peace in the home.
With that peace, on that peace note.
If you want to do it, precious.
Sir.
There are many people on top position today. If they tell them who is their father,
they go shock.
The world will turn upside down.
Why can you hear it? God bless you. I promise very quickly.
So to me, I do not see anything wrong in a woman giving a man another man's child. Men have been cheating all the time.
Let her open up and tell her this is not your child, though.
No, so we are not cheating. We are not cheating. We are helping the women.
Okay, sometimes it's just a child.
Men are helping women.
Amongst all your children, so there is nothing wrong with that. So we're just making issues at home.
When you feel it is not, make sure that when you feel that it is not wrong, you are bold enough to open your wide statue to say that this is.
You have to resurrect your partition against justice.
No, you see,
it's okay.
Finally, God said we should go and multiply. He didn't say you should go and do DNA test. Remember when David counted Israel, God punish him.
Stop doing DNA test.
Why did you go and count? Just be bunny.
Stop doing DNA test.
Even the Bible supports paternity fraud.
Exactly, in a way. Nigeria, that's the size of our packages. By the powers invested on me as a human being, I hereby not have a pattern shop because I'm not putting mouth in this conversation anymore. But join us again next week Thursday. Hopefully by 5 p.m. we'll promise you will be on time next week Thursday 5 p.m. On VOP TV live on YouTube at VOP TV live. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Precious A. And they are
Tomisi Adebukola Badiwole
against
Yinka Kenny is my name. You folks call me YK.
And I'm promising.
She's also against.
I'm promising.
Those in favor say yeah.
Are you kidding me? Neju, come for and those on the fence.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye.
Bye.